Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Mortgage Mindset Podcast, hosted by Loan Factory. My name is Rafael Acosta. I am an advocate of Loan Factory. I am a loan officer with Loan Factory, and I am also the host of the podcast. Today, because I have with me Jerry Kindig, and he is an amazing individual. I haven't met him in person yet, but every single contact that I have with Jerry is it's just refreshing. He's an open book. He loves to help, and he's a wealth of knowledge in so many aspects. And we're here today to pick his brain so that he can kind of give us a little bit of insight into his mortgage mindset. Jerry, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Of course, someday we will meet. I will mark it. Someday we will get to meet. Like we're across the country. Like I know you're East Coast, I'm West Coast, so. But we'll like something with Loan Factory. We're gonna make it happen sometime.
Something. There's actually an expo in Houston. By chance, are you going to that in November?
I am going. Are you going?
Boom.
Done. Easy. We already did it.
Done.
Podcast over. We're set.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap, folks.
I didn't know. That's awesome.
Perfect, man. That's awesome. Are you actually in California or are you in Arizona?
Oh, I'm Arizona. Yeah.
You're Arizona.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So
cool.
I'm based out of like Phoenix suburbs.
Okay.
Like I'm on the
Got
east side
it.
of Phoenix, probably like 30 minutes from downtown. So
Perfect.
I can see mountains out of my backyard. So like I'm
Nice.
kind of off to the side. Yeah.
Nice. I went to Arizona once on an RV trip and I started way south, and it was the worst experience of my life. I felt like I was in torture, the hottest place I've ever been. I couldn't breathe. And I think Phoenix was like that turning point. Once I went north, like Phoenix, beyond Phoenix and north, it felt way more comfortable for my lungs and my nose. It was crazy out there.
Yes. Once you get north, like you go about 2 hours north of Phoenix. Like Phoenix is down in the valley. Like it's called the valley because everything around here is just flat. They're like down in around mountains all around us. So once you go north, it's about 2 hours. You go up about a couple thousand feet, and instead of being 120 in the summertime, it's like 100. So it drops like crazy going up there. So everybody like escapes to go north, and it's kind of crazy. No one thinks of Arizona as like a place where there's like trees, there's animals, everything. But if you go up north, people go skiing, they go snowboarding, they go hunting up there. There's lakes in Arizona. It's not just desert everywhere. Like there's a lot to do here. I love it out here.
Are you originally from Arizona?
I'm not. I grew up in Ohio. So came out here on vacation a couple times, fell in love with the sunshine. Ohio, from about October through March, sometimes even into May. It's just gray and cloudy. It's cold. It's, winter times, it gets down to 0 degrees. I was completely tired of it, tired of shoveling snow, would come out here on vacation. Like once in November is the perfect time. And of course I came in November, came in February again, great time to come here. And I was like, I love it. Wife and I, we decided we're going to move. We're out. Done.
Wow.
No family out here. We just picked up and moved. So we're kind of out here on our own, doing our own thing.
So nor you or your wife had any family out there?
Nope. We went for it. I mean, it's,
That's awesome.
Go exploring, run your own path. That's what we're doing.
Hey, that's awesome. I love it. How long ago was the move?
So I've been in Arizona since November of 22. So I'm coming up on 3 years now that we've been out here. And
very cool.
Haven't ever since day one, have not even thought about going back. I'm good. I'm happy. Nope.
Very interesting story. I've heard of people doing that for like Florida. They come to visit and they never want to leave. I've never heard of it happening with Arizona.
I wanted to go somewhere warm like my whole life. I wanted to go somewhere a little bit warmer. I can't handle the humidity. Like I hate that. Like summertime humidity in Florida. I'll give props to anybody who lives there because I don't want to do that at all. I'll take the 120 here with no humidity over the 100 degrees with humidity every day.
It's rough. We're just now getting into that fall and the weather is like 70s and 80s and we're just loving life right now. Right now is a very nice time in Florida.
Yep.
Man.
It hit cool. It hit 85. It hit 85 here too. So like we kind of hit that cusp of like it's coming down. Everybody's hanging outside and we're doing yard work. Yes. So like it's cool now.
Love it. Awesome. Cool. So you're in Arizona, and tell me a little bit about how you got into the mortgage industry or who introduced you to this crazy industry.
I am a lot different than other people. I feel like a great number of people in this industry just kind of came across it. They knew somebody, they had an aunt, an uncle, a friend, somebody that just said, "Hey, I'm a loan officer here. You should come work here too. It'd be great." I'm the exact opposite. I searched this out. I found this. So I've done a lot of things in my career. I've been a server, a bartender. I worked for a couple cities in their tourism departments. I have a bachelor's degree from Ohio State in exercise science. I have a master's degree in exercise science. So I went down that route. I was a personal trainer for a while, but I got into sales. So I got into car sales, and I really, really liked that. I enjoyed, the rush of selling cars. I worked honestly at a great, great dealership. I hear a lot of people say a lot of like horror stories about working in certain places, but was doing a great job, loved it. And they were going to go promote me to be a finance manager because that's what I wanted to do, because I wanted to do finance more. I like that more. And that was the point that my wife and I decided we were going to move out to Arizona. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that now. I have to turn it down. And so I started to think, well, I can probably do some other career, because usually when you get into a car dealership, you're not going to go straight into finance. They're usually going to promote. They always promote from within. They want to make sure people know what they're doing. Respected people at the dealership usually are finance managers that have been there for a while. So I started to look, and I found mortgages. It's actually on a different podcast that I was watching at the time. So I started watching that. I fell in love with it, about like just what they were talking about, what they were doing, the people that they were helping, just kind of the whole thing. So I applied for a job out here in Arizona. From that podcast, I learned it's probably great to learn a lot before you go into being a broker, before you do what we do. So I was like, okay, how can I get as many at bats as possible? How can I talk to as much people as possible? And it just happened that Rocket Mortgage has a office out here in Arizona. So I applied for that job, got that position. And that's how I kind of got this whole thing started, because I had my plan about what I wanted to do. And I knew that I needed to get a lot of experience before I went out on my own and worked for myself. So I kind of cut my teeth at Rocket before I actually came to Loan Factory now about a year ago. So that's
Wow.
kind of my whole story as of me searching it out, finding it, because I didn't even know this job existed 3 years ago. I had no idea it was even a thing. Like, you go to a bank to get a mortgage. You just go talk to the bank. That's all I knew. Now I know, like, brokers can be way, way better than banks. Like, if I had known brokers were a thing, like, I would have done this long, long time ago.
Wow. That is a crazy story. That's the first time I've heard that somebody actually seeked it out as far as an industry goes. Like you said, most people get introduced by a friend, a family member, or they get pushed into the industry somehow. So it's interesting to know that. Now, when you went to Rocket, were you working like outside retail sales, or were you doing call center work?
I was doing call center. So I was cutting my teeth on that one. So I was, we were getting about probably 15 to 20 inbound phone calls per day. I was on a purchase team there. So there were about 130, I think, maybe 120 other bankers in my region. There's 3 different regions of purchase. So like they have, thousands of loan officers at the company. So you're kind of a number, it's just churn through as many people as you can possibly talk to. And, you're happy if you're on the purchase side. Like, we were trying to close, 6 to 8 was like amazing for the last couple of years. And so I was call center talking to so many people. It's crazy, but I learned a lot. I learned guidelines. I learned techniques of how you talk to people about certain aspects of a loan, how you explain different situations. So that's really what probably trained me better than anything else could have if I even tried to go to a broker first. So like, I'm very happy with the path I took.
Now, do you feel that Rocket's training platform at the beginning of the position helped you, or was it the hands-on experience on phones, actually learning and talking to people?
It was both, honestly. I say if like any loan officers wanting to come into the business, if you are, of course, like new people, they bring you into the office. So like, you have to work in an office. If you're brand new, you have to be there locally in Phoenix, Detroit, Cleveland, or they also opened offices in North Carolina now. So you have to be in person. Their training's amazing, incredible. Like they go from start. They actually have a class too to help you pass the NMLS exam. Like, you're in a month, you're 8 hours a day, classroom setting, learning laws, learning guidelines, learning everything to pass the NMLS exam so that you actually get your license in the first place. Then they put you in the call center, and you're making like just the quick introductory calls where you're handing that call then off to a licensed loan officer to actually work with that client. Then you're getting to the point where you're that licensed loan officer. So you're working through your application until you talk to somebody about their credit score, and then you hand it off. Then you talk to somebody about their income, then you hand it off. So it's a year total of learning. So it is full on, like they're taking people from nothing to being on the phones, hopefully self-sufficient for the most part
Mhm.
once you're about a year in. So you're closing loans on the floor, actually getting a little bit of commission to close loans.
But you're a base plus commissions pay structure, right?
They do. Yes, they do. Yeah, they do a minimum wage. They have a weird kind of structure of overtime, but
Mhm.
they are always base hourly plus some type of overtime because you are usually working 50, 60 hours a week. You're working scheduled Saturdays, scheduled Sundays. It's a lot of hours. But I'm telling
Wow.
you, like I learned so much. There's absolutely no way I could do what I do now if I didn't go through that. Especially
Mhm.
only like because I'm only a few years into my career, and I feel like I have the knowledge of someone who's like a veteran at doing this, of years and years in the career.
Can agree with that because that's something I noticed about you. When we first started talking via chats and via calls, the way you handle yourself, the way you talk about guidelines, I can tell there was experience behind you, behind the way you spoke. But I just didn't know how much. And now that you're telling me that your career isn't more than 5 years long, I'm blown away. That's impressive.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep. I'm almost at 3 total years now.
Good for you, man. That's awesome. Coincidentally, my wife and I were talking about this on the way home from the store the other day. And my background, when I put myself through college and my work, part-time work, etc., was heavy call center, right? I worked for AT&T
Mm,
Wireless. I worked for a prepaid calling card company for a long time. I worked for JP Morgan Chase, and it was a lot of call center. And I hated call centers. I did it because it paid the bills, right? But I look back now and all of those years of call center, phone, customer service, how to handle objectives over the phone and rebuttal is paying dividends now because
yes.
this mortgage industry is heavy phone sales. It's trying to articulate about a sensitive topic, potentially their credit, potentially their finances, and you have to build trust, you have to build rapport, you have to sometimes rebuttal over the phone. And those years that I spent at the call center, I thank God for them now.
Exactly. I mean, I was serving tables at 17 years old. That step of it, having to go talk to people in person that I didn't know, like that's scary. And
Mhm.
especially like you said too, talking to people about their finances, like talking about their credit, their past, income history, like that's a lot of personal things for people. And, in a lot of cases too, when we talk to somebody who it doesn't even have to be like a first time home buyer, but a lot of people who have bought two, three, four houses before, we're really the first financial people that anybody talked to. Most people don't talk to a financial advisor before they talk to a loan officer. So we're the first person to kind of help them start to build everything, start to build their lives, their homes, their families by buying a house for the first time. If I didn't have all of that experience, there's no way I would be able to do this right now. I'd feel comfortable. Like it's scary. Every single step you take is scary, but then you get into it, it's just normal. Like it's no big
Yeah.
deal to me now. Like I can go on the phone to talk to somebody for an hour about everything and go through every little piece of disclosures, and I know like all of that, and it just builds on itself.
Yeah. And it's obvious you have a passion for it. So when you have a passion for it, it becomes easier. It takes away the job perspective and it becomes an actual passion. It really does.
It really
Okay.
does.
So now we fast forward. You're transitioning away from Rocket. And are you looking for a place to hang your license outside of Rocket or did Loan Factory find you?
So I was looking to leave, for sure.
Okay.
So I was like my original plan going into it is that I talked of course with like the onboarding people and the recruiters at Rocket, looked at the time frame, and I was like, okay, probably 2 years is what it's going to take. Like I'm gonna have to like be in the call center, be in the office, probably 2 years, and then I'll start to try to look somewhere else. About a year and a half in, I was tired of it. I was like exhausted. I hated getting on the phones there because in a call center, like people who don't know, if you're getting 15, 20 phone calls a day, they're tracking everything. Time you're on the phone, time that you're trying to even help people. Like if you're trying to actually help people, plain a disclosure. That's time that you're not taking getting a new client. That's time you're not taking trying to sell a different loan where maybe this
Mhm.
client, they have the aspect of like, maybe they're not going to go through with it. Let's go get a yes somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I was tired of that. I'm like, okay, I need to go find someplace else. Cool. I knew I wanted to be a broker. So I started to search online loan. And for me, I had a couple different aspects that I was looking for. First, of course, like I'd never been a broker. So I didn't really like know exactly what to look for, but I started to see like, okay, there's a cost There's a monthly cost in some places. Some places there's a cost for training. And Loan Factory had the cheapest cost per loan. And they advertised a best price guarantee. Like, okay, I'm listening now. Like, you say you have great rates. Like, and like the cost for me is low too. Oh, and you don't have a minimum. Like, I don't have to close an average of 1, 2 loans a month, or you'll just shut off my login. I don't really know what I'm doing yet. So like, that sounds amazing. That sounds great. I'm in. So I searched out Loan Factory, found it, and now like I'm so happy I found Loan Factory. From day one, like I was in. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm pricing loans. I'm trying to call real estate agents that I'd worked with at Rocket before. Trying to call friends, family, like trying to get everything going. And it was a little bit of a slow start overall trying to get to that. But like for me, finding Loan Factory and getting to build that was just perfect for me. It was exactly what I was looking for. Low fees, no minimums, great rates. I'm in.
That's awesome. I think that I can relate to you at a level where your transition from where you were to where you're at now was kind of a weight lifted off of your shoulders. It gave you the ability to do more, to compete. It gave you the ability to offer things that you couldn't offer before. And you felt like you're now competing with the big boys and you can be more confident with your sales processes and what you're pitching to your clients. That's what I felt when I transitioned over. I'm assuming that you were in the same boat.
Absolutely. I mean, so what Rocket offers where I was working before was QM loans, conventional FHA, VA, done. That's all we did. Nothing else. Now, and I mean, I'll tell you, like, I fully wish I could go back and get every single phone number from all the people that I talked to, because I guarantee you I could close another 100 loans at least talking to all those people, because how many, I qualified so many people saying you have the credit, you have the income, the house that you're looking for is the right price, you just don't have a down payment. It's like that last piece. We have down payment assistance. I closed probably 15, 20 down payment assistance loans this last year now, because it's just, they can buy. People who are self-employed only go off they do have a bank statement team there, but in general, like it's really hard to like keep people on the phone and like try to transfer them over. And so we would get tax returns for self-employed clients, and like everybody else who runs a business, you don't like to pay taxes. So you legally take every aspect you can to write off your taxes. So you have no income left to be able to purchase a home off a QM loan. Now we go bank statement loans, and I can do loans for all self-employed people with bank statements. We can do DSCRs. We can do everything. Like we can do loans for DACA recipients now. Like the amount of loans and just all the products that we can do are just insane to me. And like you said, I feel so like freed, and I can do everything. I can work it all. Like if we can make a loan happen, we will close a loan. It feels great.
It does. It really does. I feel 100% the same way. And, it's something that motivated me to jump ship from where I was, because I was a broker back before the crash, before 2010. I started in this industry as a broker, and then the crash happened and brokers got a bad name. They got a cloud over their head because of the crash. Everybody was like, the brokers did it. It's their
Of
fault.
course.
So that shifted everybody to avoid the broker name and go to direct lending. And that's why I jumped over to direct lending. Well, fast forward now, it's 2023, 2024, and I'm starting to realize that the broker cloud is starting to dissipate and people are starting to come back to their senses. And a lot of the benefits that I saw as a broker back 20 years ago are still there, and more because of the technology that we have now, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day in 2003, and this is before your time, we literally had to print up and stack a file in a certain order and either mail it or hand deliver it to the lender so that they could underwrite it. Like that's the world I came from. And that's gone now. With technology, you hit a button and everything just goes back and forth. So you don't have that delay anymore. Then you couple that with the technology that Tuan and Loan Factory have put into place. And I was like, this is nice.
Yes.
And I know that you're probably more technologically savvy than I am, right? Because I know that you're an advocate of AI. Tell me a little bit about how you're using AI in your business coupled with Loan Factory, and how it's helping you grow.
Yeah. So for me, I would say like I always have ChatGPT and Claude. Like those two, or at least for me, like the ones that I'm using a lot more than others. Really, it's like every single aspect where I have something in writing, and maybe I'm trying to brainstorm something. Maybe I'm trying to like just come up with anything like any marketing materials, like anything that I can do to like help build business. I'm plugging in there. So like one of the, I think one of the greatest things that just like kind of came to my mind one day is we get approvals back. So we send the button back, we get our conditional approval back, and it has a list of 30 things that we need to do still. Title work, insurance, appraisals, everything. Well, cool. Throw it into AI. Please create me a to-do list for all parties involved. Please write me emails for all parties involved to ask for these items. Please include this link so that they can send them directly to our portals. So it links it to the client's application. So when they click that link, it'll automatically upload into the file, and I click submit, and it gives me everything. It reads the conditional approval. It gives me every single condition that's out there. It gives me all the emails. I copy paste, boom, boom, it's out.
Wow.
Instead of having to read every single little condition that's on there and try to comprehend everything, pull out, copy, paste myself, pull everything out. So instead of, 20, 30 minutes of trying to digest the whole thing, it's done in like 5 and it's out.
That's
So like, that's
amazing.
really cool.
That's cool.
I think another really fun one recently too, I will say this one I feel like I did this on myself too. So I'll say like I researched myself is if you're trying to work with somebody out there, like let's say you're an LO, you might be a real estate. This could even be for real estate agents, financial advisors, could be anybody out there professionally. Let's say you're trying to work with somebody else. The internet's the internet. Everything's out there. I could go in right now and look up Rafael Acosta and say, please tell me everything you can find about him. Do a deep dive. Please act as a background check, and it'll go in and find everything about you. Things you like, things you post on Facebook, Instagram, what you do for work, what your license numbers are, where you're licensed. It'll pull out everything for you. And then, for you as a person, like, are you going to mesh well with that real estate agent? Are you going to mesh well with that loan officer maybe? Like to give a referral to somebody. So you can do some research on people too out there, which is
Wow.
like, that's just like crazy to me.
That's huge. That's so cool.
And I think last like big thing too is I started using a lot more of the text to like the voice text part of it too. I think that's something that not a lot of people realize, that you can just talk into it and you can make it respond back to you as well. So if you're trying to, let's say, like, I think this is probably the best aspect of it, because I'm also trying to think about a lot of new training things to help with Loan Factory. So I'm looking at ways that we can help brand new loan officers have conversations with people and how to carry on those conversations and where to kind of take those conversations. So you can go to ChatGPT, figure this out today, thought of this. You can say, please act as a client trying to get a loan. Please create me a random scenario, anything you can think of that would qualify for a blank loan. Or you can just say qualify in general. I want you to act as a client. I'm going to respond as a loan officer, and I want you to be the client and answer my questions so I can fill out an application. And so you can go through and you can like go back and forth with ChatGPT and create an application. Like, so you can be a brand new loan officer and you can act as like you're trying to qualify somebody and find out why they qualify, how they qualify, go into guidelines about little intricate details that ChatGPT can come up with. So you can actually learn how to be a better loan officer if you're brand new that way. I think that's like kind of the big like third thing that I was like, wow, this is amazing.
That's really cool. That's like role playing without having to role play in front of somebody. You're using chat, that's a huge asset, because a lot of people are shy to do that. They don't want to mess up. They don't want to role play with somebody else. If you have that anxiety, then you could use this tool to help you grow your knowledge. That's huge.
So cool. It's also like great for guidelines too. Like you can go and you can create, your mortgage AI. Mm-hmm. I can take the FHA 4000.1. I can upload it into that, and it will remember that. So I can go to it later and I can ask it questions if I have a client using an FHA loan, because that's the guidelines that it knows. So I can create mortgage AIs. Literally, there's so much.
Wow. Okay. So since you're deeper into the AI aspect than I am, I want to pick your brain about something and give me your honest opinion. I was talking to another loan officer about this, and, obviously AI in any industry, people are concerned about taking their job and not having, a job anymore. And I'm trying to fit that into the mortgage loan officer role and how AI is helping, but could it potentially hurt us? And in your opinion, do you see AI getting so advanced where the LO job could potentially be threatened?
I don't see it as threatening our job that we're not going to have a job. I see it threatening our job as it's going to allow us to do more. I think it's going to be, let's say there's 100,000 loan officers across the country. I think it might say, okay, it only takes 80,000 loan officers to do the job of 100, or only takes 60 to do the job of 100 that's out there. So like it could definitely be something where we're doing more work, but we're able to do it faster. We're able to do it easier. And that could mean too, when you look at some of the biggest players, I think there could be some of the biggest players in the industry, the Rockets, Rocket Mortgage, UWM, you could see their market share start to increase as they start to utilize AI more because they have more money behind it. They have more power. They have more programmers that can start to use it. But I think there's also an aspect of it that I kind of mentioned, I talked about this a few minutes ago too. Like this is people's personal information. It's people's personal credit, their savings, their income. Do you want to put that out to anyone and everyone in the cloud? Do you want to put that out to AI? And buying a house is a big, big decision. You probably don't want AI to make your decision about buying a house. You want to have a good feeling that, okay, this is the right decision. This is a good thing that I'm doing. That's the people connection that our job still requires and it's going to require. That's something where I know we're still going to have jobs. Just might shrink a little bit as far as how many loan officers there are.
Yeah. I can agree with that. That was pretty much in line with my opinion when I was speaking to this other colleague of mine. And I remember when digital underwriting became a thing, right? And people were like, oh my gosh, digital underwriting is going to make a decision for us and underwriters are not going to be needed anymore. And it turned out that they needed us more because digital underwriting can only do as much as your data allows, right? The data that you put in, garbage in, garbage out type thing.
Yep.
And in our industry, and I don't know if your clientele is the same, but my clientele, I cater to those people that don't think they qualify to buy a house. Those people that need a little bit more hand holding, those people that need the DPAs, for example. And I don't ever see, at least in the near future, a computer being able to take over that personal connection that a loan officer fits that role for, right? Maybe 800 credit score borrowers with 30, 40, 50% down and all they care about is black and white numbers. Maybe AI can pre-qual that kind of borrower just based off of an inputted database. But the other half of this industry, which is the people that need the attention, the personal conversations, the hand-holding, maybe a sit-down lunch to talk in person, that's always going to be needed. So I think that that's a huge aspect of why I feel that AI can help us instead of hurt us, right? And then beyond that, it's one of those things that the big players in the game, like you said, have the dollars behind them, and they could probably reach more people than you and I can with the resources that we have as individual loan officers. So I think it's that much more important for you and I, the small guys, to tighten up our follow-up processes and tighten up our database of past clients and make sure we're staying in front of them with whatever tools and resources, top of mind type thing, right? And I think that we have to do that because if we don't pay attention to our database and our existing clients, I guarantee you there's somebody sitting in a call center that's calling them for you and trying to win them over, as you know.
Oh yeah. And I think too, like you brought up the underwriting example where the idea of you like just taking information, you plug it in and it gives you this result. A plus B equals C. There's so much in our job that A plus B could equal C, but it could also be D plus A. But what if we take away B and we only use A? Like there's so much that's happening on like when you get documents in, like, oh, well, we can't use these, so we're not using this income now. Well, we have to go back and use all this because I will bet you get somebody who's trying to use AI fully to get a loan, and that AI asks you for 26 pay stubs. Are you going to be happy as a person trying to get a loan? Are you going to be like, I'm not doing that. Forget that. I'm out. Well, that's one of the things we have to get sometimes is we have to be like, hey, we're getting these pay stubs because of this. It's going to do this for us. It's going to do this. Like explaining that whole thing, like working with somebody will get that loan done. Where in that situation, 9 times out of 10, that person is just going to be like, forget it. I don't care. It's not worth it to me to do those extra steps. So there's a lot of pieces that are just weird about all applications because everybody's different. every scenario is different. So that's where I don't think we're going to go anywhere.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Okay, cool. I appreciate that. That opinion means a lot. It's been a topic of conversation and different conversations that I've had with colleagues that I've been in the industry with for a long time. And we're old school, and we come from the time period where we had to calculate everything by hand, and there was really no LOS. So it's one of those things where we're just kind of thinking, wow, is it going to be is it threatening or is it a good thing? And I personally see way more positives than negatives. I really do. So now you're in the broker space. You've grown your knowledge. You're killing it. You're doing awesome things, and you're walking the walk and talking the talk. Where do you see yourself going? Where do you see your business in the next 5 years?
Well, I hope to be still originating loans. Like I say that first is, I still plan on having my licenses, I'm still planning on doing all of that. I know for both of us, I know we got the call from the loan officer development department at Loan Factory to be corporate coaches. So, we got chosen because, we show up, we know our stuff, we're always like you kind of said at the beginning too, like it's always refreshing, like to talk with us. Like we just handle ourselves well. Right. So we got that call up. I also just recently got another call up as well above that. I don't know if you know yet. I got a new title. You haven't heard yet. Cool.
No,
So I got a new title as of like 2 days ago. I'm the lead corporate coach now with Loan Factory. So
Congratulations.
I took over. Thank you. I took over. I am going to take over some of the trainings that Juan, the CEO, does, and Jessica Endo does as well. Because they've from the beginning, they've done training sessions. They usually do about 2 to 4 a month. Kind of depends on how their schedule aligns. But I'm taking over that as well so that they have time to go work on other things with the company to help build the company. I know there's other aspects that Tuan has that are way bigger than where we are now, even though the growth of Loan Factory has been crazy over the last few years. So that's kind of putting me in a training role. But we're both mentors as well. We both help bring up new loan officers. We help them close loans. We help them do stuff too. So I see myself, it could be in a larger training role for Loan Factory. I love the company. I want to be here. Maybe it's also something as Loan Factory corporate grows. Maybe it's something that I'm also called up into that. Completely open and looking for that opportunity if it arises to keep moving up. But I still want to originate loans. I still help getting people to buy houses. I still like being able to help people achieve the American dream. Like when people ask me what I do, I help people achieve the American dream.
Yes. Love
That's
it.
the answer.
Love it.
So
Love it.
In a
Love it.
long
Wow.
roundabout way, that's kind of where I see myself kind of moving the next 3 to 5 years.
That's cool, man. And I see it fitting. I mean, like I said, the way you carry yourself, you're a wealth of knowledge, and you've got the passion behind it. So I commend you for it. Go for it. I think you're a huge asset to the company. I would personally hate to lose you if I was Tuan. So stick around and let's do big things, because I personally, I feel like I'm maybe have a good, I would say 8 to 10 years of originating in me. And then I just kind of want to relax. And I think that this is going to be my last home base. I don't want to go anywhere else. So God willing, if everything goes as planned, Loan Factory is going to be my be all end all in this industry. And at this point, I'm having a lot of fun using my experience and my knowledge to give back to the newer generation that's coming in, young blood, as they say. If I can give back and I can share a little bit, I'm really enjoying that aspect.
I've got a lot of years left in me. I'm in my early 30s. I got a long time to go.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's exciting stuff, man. That's cool. Well, man, I mean, I can't believe we're going on almost 50 minutes of talking. This is crazy.
This is easy.
Flies.
This is
It's easy, right? I love when conversation just flows. I look forward to meeting you in person, man. I think we're gonna have a good time in Houston. So I'm really glad you're able to go, and I will be there. But man, at this point, we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Tell me a little bit about how people can find you if they want to get a hold of you. What's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah. So my website, it's actually, I didn't even know this before. I see obviously your shirt.
Yeah.
So not to kind of stomp on your ground, but my website is pickmymortgagerate.com.
Shut up.
No, yeah, there is really. So you can go check me out. You can find my website there, pickmymortgagerate.com.
Okay.
You can check out interest rates, all the programs that we have. You can contact me there. Email is also my first name, period, last name at loanfactory.com. You can also find me on social at Jerry Does Home Loans as well.
Awesome, Jerry. Again, man, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciated talking to you. And even though we're across the country, I feel like, it's going to be a long time friendship coming. We're going to keep in touch for sure. And then we'll just kind of go with the flow and see where this crazy industry takes us.
Yes, sir. The whole company is going to be at the Brazilian steakhouse. So I will be happy to eat a lot of steak and chicken and everything else with you.
Let's do it. Let's do it. That's awesome. Well, we'll call that a wrap. Thank you so much for joining us today with the Mortgage Mindset Podcast. Again, Jerry Kindig, thank you so much for your time. Please, if you found value today, if you found knowledge in this, share this podcast. We want to grow this platform. And for Mortgage Mindset Podcast, hosted by Loan Factory, that's a wrap for today's podcast. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.